ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Cropper here. I want to talk about anarchy for a minute. There are some people who believe in anarchy. Market anarchy, they call it. So, this is a short video. I could do a rather long video series on anarchy, I think, and address it quite in detail. But this is my argument to any anarchist of any stripe, market anarchist or libertarian or whatever else. The issue of protecting rights is always what comes up. And it is always suggested by anarchists of one stripe or another that there would just be private companies that would protect rights instead of the public police force and stuff that we have today. Right? Kit Kats are made by a private company. Why can't the police be a private company? So there would be a private company in this geographic region that protects rights and a private company in that geographic region, and no government, okay? No government. Now, what is the difference between a government and a business entity that protects your rights? Well, the business entity is out for a profit. That's one thing. The government has exclusive control over its geographic region on pain of war. Would private market anarchy situations have exclusive control over their region? Or would they be bound to respect the other private protection rackets? It doesn't seem to me that there's any way to say that they wouldn't be battling each other constantly. One of them would take over the territory of the other with their guns and superior numbers of men. And there would be no government to answer to. I don't see why that wouldn't happen. Now here's the finishing argument, the end argument, the kill-all argument. They are taking the market as some sort of tree or flower or mud puddle or metaphysical absolute that cannot be questioned and cannot fail. They believe the market would create good systems, better police forces, and they would evolve into better and better ones and stuff. They think that the market is some sort of magical natural resource that just exists, and all we have to do is let it work. But the market is a creature of law, created by law, for the society underneath an area of governance. It is a stolen concept for them to think that they can use a free market of violence. What the hell is this? A free market of violence to protect rights. There's not going to be a free market if there isn't somebody to stop the initiation of force. There has to be a government to retaliate against the initiation of force. If there's not, the private things will have to do it, and what's going to stop them from taking more territory, and indeed what's going to stop them from plundering? Not the market, okay? Because the market is a creature of law created by government for the regions of the place the government owns. There we go. That is the basic reason why anarchy won't work, because the market for them is a stolen concept. They're stealing this concept of a market right out of the middle of its whole periphery of stuff that goes with it, from government to law to the retaliation against physical force being initiated. All that stuff's involved in creation of a market. They just want to take the market out, leave government and physical force behind. They don't want someone to have a monopoly on physical force. Here's the last question before I go. How are they going to prevent a new monopoly on physical force being gotten by one of these other little entities? Maybe it will just be a constant war with 100 or 1,000 different little governments fighting, but who's to say that one of them won't sweep the whole region? And then, since they've already done away with government and rights, and now it's just who's got the biggest guns and who's in charge, now rights aren't protected at all, because they've done away with their competition, and there's no reason that they should try to lower their price on protection of rights or whatever. There we go. There we go. My blood pressure's going up, so I better end this video. I can't stand anarchists. They're ridiculous. The market is a creature of law. It is not a floating abstraction or a flower or a tree that you can just take out of the middle of nature and use. It is an institution of law.